qualifier. But this is also called the post-modifier or the post-head element. This refers to the items coming after the noun serving as a head word. This position of the qualifier within a nominal group can be denoted by adverbs such as there, above, inside, underneath, etc. Let's consider this. The man there, the example above, the chair inside, situation there. All these underlined words are adverbs serving as qualifiers to the nouns. But take note of this. Only the adverbs indicating a place or position or time can function as a qualifier in a nominal. Any other adverbs that comes after noun is acting out another functions within the clause, such as adjunct. Adverb of manners, for instance, cannot serve as a qualifier within a nominal group. We cannot have expressions like this. People carefully are your strength. Or the man carelessly is our neighbor. The choices of words here have broken the grammatical law of word juxtaposition, known as word collocation in grammar. However, it should be noted that the appearance of adverb of place or time immediately after a noun does not, in every instance, assign it as a qualifier to the noun. Take for instance, the man brought the chair inside. As we can see, this expression here is polysemantic in nature. But the first thing is to understand the situational context of the expression. If the expression is conveying that there was a chair inside and the man went inside to bring the chair outside, this registers that the word inside after the noun chair is a qualifier to the noun, describing the chair that was inside. But if the context interprets that the chair was outside before and the man had to bring it into the building, the word inside in the expression the man brought the chair inside is therefore serving as an adjunct within the clause. Another words that can serve as qualifiers in a noun-headed nominal group are preposition headed as prepositional phrase in traditional grammar. Take for instance, the man over there, the books under the table, the house in London, the woman after my heart. All these underlying expressions are preposition headed adverbial group, termed prepositional phrases in traditional grammar. For better understanding of preposition headed adverbial, get our video on this. We have had a class on this. Also take notes of the contextual usage of these expressions in order to ascertain whether these adverbial groups are really qualifying the nouns or they are operating as adverbs, which is adjunct within the clause. Let's take a look at this. I visited the house in London. In London, underlined. If this expression means that you visited the house located in London underlined is therefore serving as a qualifier to the house, describing the location of the house. But if the expression means you visited a particular house when you were in London, when you traveled to London, the adverbial group in London underlined is therefore operating as an adverb, as an adjunct within the clause. Is it clear? All right. Another words that can occupy the position of the qualifier are adjectives called postpositive adjectives or postnominal adjectives. These adjectives usually come after the nouns. For instance, in these expressions, an animal incarnate, a mission impossible, the best hotel available, God Almighty. All these underlined words after the nouns are called postpositive adjectives, serving as qualifiers to the nouns. Also note that these postpositive adjectives can also take pre-modifiers called intensifiers, such as this and that. For examples in these expressions, a painting that expensive, a man that huge, a house this big. Also know this, these postpositive adjectives are different from predicative adjectives. Predicative adjectives usually follow be verbs or other equational verbs to serve as a complement to the subject of the clause. Take for example, the car is blue. That place is dangerous. The underlined words are predicative adjectives, serving as complements. Also note that the attributive adjectives that are usually seated before the nouns are also called prepositive adjectives. Another words that can be found at the position of the qualifier is ing form of the verbs. Take for instance, in these expressions, the man eating, the boy smiling, the dog barking. All these underlined ing form of verbs are performing the functions of qualifiers in these nominal groups. Let's have them in clauses. The man eating will soon attend to you. The boy smiling won lottery. The dog barking has seen a stranger, etc. Ed or en form of the verbs can also occupy the position of the qualifier. Take for instance in these expressions, the actor celebrated, the criminal arrested, the cow killed, the money stolen, the book taken. All these ed and en form of the verbs are serving as qualifiers to the nouns. Now let's have them in clauses. The actor celebrated won the award. The criminals arrested have been prosecuted. The cow killed was costly. The money stolen has been recovered. The books taken belongs to Smith. Finite relative clause can also occupy the position of the qualifiers. For instance, the man who came yesterday, the car which he bought, the time when she came. All the underlined expressions are finite relative clauses, or simply put, relative clauses. Let's have them in full sentences. The man who came yesterday delivered the message. The car which he bought has been confiscated. The time when she came was very late. Take note, in some expressions, the markers known as subordinators of these relative clauses can be omitted. Take for instance, in these expressions, the car that he bought becomes the car he bought. The reason why she came becomes the reason she came. The time when she wrote the book becomes the time she wrote the book. Non-finite relative clauses, or simply put, non-finite clauses can also occupy the position of qualifiers. For instance, in these expressions, those boys standing there are my friends. The food served during the ceremony was delicious. The warrior to fight the monster is Beowulf. All these underlined expressions in these sentences are non-finite clauses, serving as qualifiers to the nouns. For better understanding on finite and non-finite clauses, you can get our videos on them where they have been extensively addressed. It should be noted here that all these clauses serving as qualifiers to the nouns are now part of the groups. They have lost their ranks to serve as qualifiers under nominal groups. You can also get our video on the notion of rank shifting in English for better understanding. Nominal groups can also serve as qualifiers. Say for instance, a man that fights, a table this size, etc. The underlined expressions are nominal groups serving as qualifiers within another nominal group. Another items they can serve as qualifiers within a nominal group are called appositives. These are grammatical constructions in which two elements, usually noun phrases, are placed side by side, so one element identifies the other in a different way. For example, in these expressions, you students, the man himself, the term apposition, Alexander the Great. All these underlined expressions are called appositives, serving as qualifiers to the nouns. For instance, in the expression, the man himself, that pronoun there is called intensive or emphatic pronoun, telling more about the man. So these are the items that can serve as qualifiers within a noun-headed nominal group. It is important to state here that these qualifiers are optional within the group. They can also be omitted from the group. Is it understood? Okay. Questions? And for those of us watching online, you can drop your questions in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Systemic Functional Grammar Class. Thanks for listening. See you in our next class. Have a nice day.